Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel. So be sure to check us out there. My name is Matt, and as always, I am being joined by my sister Vetta.
What up, my dudes?
And on this episode, we will be reviewing the movie Sneakerella.
Yeah, we will.
Yes. Now, not all fairy tales begin in a land far, far away. Ours begins right here. Do you recognize it? It's got one king, one queen. Although we don't always wear a crown, it's a land of possibilities and opportunities. Though, for many, these dreams can feel as far away as a castle's in the clouds. Once upon a podcast far from the gleaming towers of this kingdom, there was a special brother-sister team full of drunkenness and creativity. Like many in this town, grew up believing in the idea that the perfect pair of kicks could fly and make them soar. And with our head full of inebriatedness and our hearts full of hope, we've held tight to these dreams, no matter how hard the world around them tried to keep their feet on the ground. All right, Vetta. Now that we've got that intro out of the way, what most important question is, what are you drinking?
Because I can't just, grab a regular drink. I am drinking a shoemaker. Ooh.
Look at that.
I know. It's supposed to be filled with ice, but I'm a weirdo and I don't like ice in my drinks because I don't like super cold drink. The only drink I like super cold is ice water. Otherwise, I like everything kind of just a little bit
room
above
temperature.
room temperature. Yeah.
I feel you.
So it's supposed to be like shaken and poured over ice, but mine's not. And I doubled the recipe.
Nice.
And I got rid of it. It's supposed to have like fresh raspberries in it and one of those like orange pills, like the little swirly as a garnish. And I'm like, bitch, please just give me the alcohol.
Gotcha. You're like a drunk cobbler, Mm-hmm. All right. Awesome. Well, I'm drinking wine, or I like to call it a drunk maker,
Oh, you're drinking wine? Something new for you.
Well, I didn't, I was going to make a special drink, but I couldn't find a shoemaker drink. So,
you had to do is Google drinks that dealt with sneakers. There was one that was called Another Man's Shoes, My Blue Suede Shoes. This one was the shoemaker. And I went,
you've got too much time on your hands. Anyways. So, overall, what did you think about this movie?
So honestly, I watched the trailer first and I went, okay. At first, I was kind of like, well, it can't be as bad as Camilla's Cinderella.
Oh, gosh.
So they did better. At least when I saw the trailer, I'm like, well, it looks better than Amazon's version of Cinderella. Let's go. I got, just from the trailer, I got like High School Musical vibes because anyone who has kids that have done the whole Disney thing, they did High School Musical and then they tried all these other storylines to try to duplicate it and they missed the mark. I feel like this is the best version they've had since then, like best movie show thing since High School Musical.
Gotcha. I didn't realize it was a musical.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I was very, my thoughts were just, well, what were you like? What I thought it was ridiculous from the get-go, but what were your overall thoughts before we get into the review?
I'm gonna go overall. I was like, I'll give it a chance, but I'm sure there's gonna be stuff, and I have problems with stuff, but overall, as far as Disney goes, I think for that upper elementary, like 5th, 6th grader, this is probably right up their alley. They think it's adorable. I just kind of went, I have issues with it, but it was okay. I mean, I'm not upset I watched it.
Oh, okay.
Are you upset you watched it?
Yeah, I wasted my time. I've got stuff to do. And listen, if there is any
wait till one of your children gets to the age. Mine, I had one child that clanged to, each one of my kids had a movie they clanged to, and we watched it 24 hours a day. Like anytime they got to watch TV, that's what they want. and one of my kids was High School Musical. I saw High School Musical so many times.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just have to say, if there's anything powerful enough to set back, humanity at large, it would be this movie. I mean, there's like, oh my God, there's one part where there's a song where it's like, I got soul in my souls. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I mean, this type of filmmaking, this type of like genre, like got like this got old 15 years ago. It's overly colorful. It's kid boppy type fucking music. It's like Hello Kids, plot line, this unintellectual, cringy,
Then I go, shame on you for expecting more from Disney.
I do expect more from Disney. I mean, apart from being it like
they put being every like a little
racist, it's just out of dated as fuck.
All of Disney's superb and superior filmmaking goes into like the Avengers, like their superhero, or Star Wars. Those are all their A-listers as far as their developers, filmmakers, writers. Everything else is B, C, and D. Like those are the kids that are doing internships for Disney. Come on.
Right on. Okay, so why don't we get into talking about this film?
All right. Who is your favorite character?
You have to pick a favorite character.
I want you to pick a favorite character.
I mean, I guess it would be the sister Liv, I guess, just because she's all like trying to make her dad's business a little bit more, even though she apparently picked more, or maybe the stepdad. I don't fucking know. The stepdad, at least he was trying to, sell off his business because it wasn't making any money.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine was Sammy.
Which one was Sammy?
The best friend, the girl best friend.
Oh, the best
that was
friend.
Super crazy, over enthusiastic about everything he did. I think she's secretly in love with him.
I mean, I guess so. When she's not muff diving, I guess. So.
Oh, I forgot about that. You're right. My bad. She's not into him. She's into Kira herself.
I don't understand why when she was all like, "Oh, I sold all my sneakers to my girlfriends." I'm like, why didn't you just muff dive them for the money? I mean.
Because this is a wholesome Disney movie.
I mean, I guess so. Is it really wholesome though? Come on. That opening song really fucked my shit up, like from the get-go.
I didn't like that either.
Because first off, I understand it was a dream or a daydream.
It was like imagination, like while he was doing the window, I think. Because wasn't he in the window? Like
he was. Yeah. But he was all like, okay, like this is the problem that I have with songs like this. They took the word kicks and they were just like, all right, what worms rhyme with kicks? And then we're just going to put that in every other, like, my kicks are sick. These picks are wicks, are licks. And I'm like, what is going on here? This is ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, I'm no rapper, but I could have come up with better shit than this. I'll tell you that right now.
But if you look at like the soundtrack overall, I mean,
stop defending this movie. There's no defense of this. There's no defense of this movie. Stop it. Stop it right now. I won't have it. I won't have it at all.
Okay, can you explain this to me?
No.
No, I don't get the world of sneaker junkies. Like, I get there's a lot of money in having huge collections. There's a ton of people out there, but I don't get it. And maybe it's because I'm just a Vans and a Chucks girls. Like, give me a great pair of Chucks. Okay. I'll glitter them up myself and make them what I want and be happy so I can wear them wherever. Or give me a pair of Vans that I can just slide on, or a pair of slides. I mean, I don't get the sneaker junkie thing. I don't. That's the biggest problem of connection for me with this movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to find in my notes where I wrote it down because hold on. I'm because when you just said that, I was like, oh, I wrote it down in my notes about it. Fuck me. I have so many notes that I can't find it.
I don't understand a sneaker junkie world.
We might have to come back to this because
I don't understand spending $200 on a pair of shoes unless they're Jimmy Choos, and those are way more than $200. And those types of shoes wouldn't even fit me. I wear kids' shoes. My feet are itty bitty. Like, and maybe that's why I don't understand it. Like, I bought a pair of Chucks the other day and they were $30 because they were kids.
Right on. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I wrote down Kira King. They wrote down, she's sneaker royalty. And I was like, okay, wait. Does Disney really think that there are really famous sneaker people out there? Like,
Oh,
I
there
mean, I think
are.
that I don't know. I'm old, and let me know if there is like actual famous sneaker people, but I
There
am
are, but they're
like,
mostly like celebrities and basketball, like sports people. Mostly, like most of the ones
then
I
they're
know about are
sports people. They're
basketball
not
players.
famous sneaker people.
What's his name? Steven.
It doesn't matter. I won't know who he is.
I can't remember his name, but his sneakers go for hundreds of dollars. I mean, and
Yeah,
you've got the Air
money
Jordans.
well
Jordans have always,
wasted.
huh?
Money well wasted.
Yeah, you go, but it's been going all the way since Air Jordans. Like you remember, that's from our time. Like, well, it's at least from mine.
Yeah,
I was
and
like,
they weren't worth the money then. I mean, listen, just because you get
man, but
an
I won't
Indonesian
lie. I
kid to
kind of wish I
pay,
would have bought a pair and never wore them because that shit's worth money.
yeah.
It's like the Beanie Babies, but not shoes. They're shoe. I don't know. I guess I don't get it. So I mean, I get that they had to put it around something boy related. And if there is anything that is boy related, something about teenage boys, they love their fucking shoes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I just like the whole time I'm just like, I don't understand this, but you know, whatever. This is not my jam.
So you wouldn't stand in line with 1,000 people for a shoe drop.
No.
Me neither. So what did you think of the kid? So this was one of my favorite parts that I went, Disney, come on. When they're on the light rail or whatever it's called, the tram, I don't know what they call it. And he pulls out the pencil case and it says case of pencils on it.
Well, I don't remember the case of pencils, but I have thoughts on the shoes he designed.
The ones that he like fingerprinted on the tram or the ones that he designed that everyone oohed and awed.
I have both. But since we're talking about the tram sneakers, hold on. I wrote it down. I've got to find them because I wrote it down in my, I wrote down like, what the fuck did he do to her shoes? Like, that's nothing. Some fingerprint swirlies with fox ears and some shit like stick to your
I would
arms.
buy shoelaces that were like caution tape.
Yeah, like, and then I wrote down, kick it. What is this chicken scratch? Yeah, your father, uncle, mama's baby daddy was right. This is the real world. Give up your dreams.
But I do feel like, don't you remember like drawing on shoes? I don't know if kids draw on shoes today. Like I spend too much money on shoes. So if my kids draw on their shoes, they're going to get a earful. But we drew on shoes when I was in high school, but it wasn't to be an artistic. It was because we were getting ready to throw them away. So we went, why not junk them up more?
I never drew on my shoes.
I don't know. I just, and I got a thing with, if her dad is such a huge celebrity and he lives in this ridiculous, like the tallest building in New York City, Manhattan, blah, blah, blah. How the fuck does he not know who she is? I know who celebrities' kids are that I don't give a shit about. I know who Apple and Moses are. I don't give a shit about Gwyneth Paltrow or her kids, but I know who they are. Like, gotcha. How does he not
you said Apple and Moses. I was like the Bible?
No, her son's name is Moses.
I didn't even know that.
Courtney Cox's daughter's name is Coco. Like, I know celebrity kids and I don't care about celebrity lives, but you hear about them. So how does he not know?
I mean, I get, listen, I don't know. I don't know.
I like I said, it's a good kid movie, but I do have issues with stuff in the movie.
Right on. All right. So so starting off the movie, I liked it when he comes in and his dad makes him like take over the whole shop and everything.
Yeah.
But then he goes to the sneaker drop.
Yep.
And I love how his little lesbo friend is like, dude, I love it. And then she's like, hold on, she wrote down oh god damn it. Oh, she's like, I want to lick him. I mean, this whole friend group is like never lick shoes. Kids that are like some creepy Mary Kay Lewenter middle-aged bitch movie. And it's just like, I mean, who wrote this shit? I want to lick them. Like, what? Like, I understand you're lesbian and you like to lick things, but Jesus Christ, shoes. It's crazy.
Maybe the person that wrote it has a foot fetish and they like to lick feet. I don't know. It's just gross to me. Anything that deals with feet is disgusting.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I did write earlier was I wrote down about him drawing on her sneakers was she's like, dude, I love it. And then I was like, oh, dude, I love it. Oh my God, I'm gonna watch this off as soon as I get home. Oh my God. Because I was like,
So what
like
did you
just
think of the step? Okay, so first of all, I have a question for you. And this is a legit question. How old was he when his mom died?
she died last year. He
But
was
in that's what I thought. But in the reenactment, he looks like he's 5.
Oh yeah, no, she died when he was she had been sick for like 40 years, dude.
Rewatched it, rewound it, tried to find how old she was. And I'm like, there's no, like in the reenactment where the, what's his name? Gustav guy brings the shoes in and he's like, Mom, and you can tell.
Stop. G?
G,
Papa
yes.
G.
I can't remember. I've been
I was just
drinking
happy
for a
because it
long
was just a
time.
letter, and I was like, oh, I can remember that.
Yeah, but I'm like, how old was he? Because in all of the flashbacks, he looks like he's like 5, 6, 7, 8. But he talks
Yeah.
like she died like recently. And the stepbrothers, we'll talk about those two. But
They're
even
weird.
them, I'm like, when did they move in? Like, I'm so confused on the timeline age-wise of this.
Yeah. All right. Right on. Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you. I was just like at that point, I was just all like, and that's like early on, but I was just like, yeah, I'm ready to just slit my wrists at this point. This is
And didn't you know from the get-go, his stepdad was trying to sell the store?
yeah, nobody wanted that jank ass store. They weren't selling anything,
Well,
even with
because
him
he changed all of
their style.
their style and what they did for the community. So, you know,
Yeah, no. Okay. Okay. So then after the sneaker drop, which I love those guys in line that were like, "What? You cut in front of us? Those aren't your family," and they ran away and everything. I'm all like, "Dude, you weren't gonna get sneakers anyways because that one asshole bought like 50 pairs."
and I go, they already said they're done. So, dude, why are you getting upset and chasing them? I'm like you, I didn't get it.
Yeah. And then I love when he comes back to the store and he's like, this is the real world. And I'm like, sorry, I lost track of time, dad, uncle, whatever. I was late. And he just like blurts out like, this is the real world. Yeah. Like in the real world, people are late, asshole. Like,
He wasn't supposed to leave to begin with.
yeah. Yeah. I love like he's surprised. Like he's just all like, he's like with this I needed you here to twist my dookie slugs. I mean, seriously, what is up with this his hair? Like I was just like, what's going on here?
Why is he so impressed by his own kids? One does martial arts and is way into it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, my kid did a martial arts. That shit is just how much money you want to throw at it. Your kid gets a belt by how much money you want to throw at it.
Yeah.
No offense. Those of you that really work hard and succeed, good for you. That probably is. But the ones that are franchises, they don't give a shit about people succeeding. They're just making money. And then the other one is like an Entrepreneurs of America. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah, but just because he's on a laptop. And
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, look
and
at
he
you.
wears glasses and a sweater vest.
Yeah. But
I'm like, could we stereotype shit more?
Right. I do
Disney,
feel
do
like
better.
there was a bigger conversation between Elle and the dad. I like he's all like, Dad, I want to be somebody. I want to be the shoe man, Daddy. I want to be the sneaker boy. and then their like father yells at him. He's like, this is the real world.
Stop
Like,
doodling in your book.
Yeah. So, and then his dad says at one point, sometimes you got to let your dreams go. And sometimes your dreams of being a reputable actor, I don't remember the actor, you should just let that go. Because It Chapter 1 was like 10 years ago, my dude. You're in Sneakerella now. It's over. It's over. Right. I'm sorry. It's
okay. And have you ever met? This is my biggest thing with the two stepbrothers from the get-go. Have you ever seen two people so excited to get back to Jersey?
That's what I wrote that down. I wrote that. Why would anyone want to go back to Jersey? I mean, I've been to Manhattan once, but and they were like, hey, you guys want to go to Jersey? I was like, ew. I was like, no, thank you.
You want to go to the Garden State, but the Garden State has more petrol refinery plants than any other state in the United States.
Do you guys want to go to Smog, to just a pile of shit? Just going, but
right? Like, I get it. The housing's cheaper there than Manhattan, and it's easy to take public transportation over, but and then when they're loading up the truck at the end, he's like, can you smell that fresh Jersey air? And I'm like, what, you mean pollution?
Right.
Just, out of all the places, like, they couldn't have wanted to move back to Connecticut or something. They
right. That's so funny.
They need to get their, what is it called from Jersey Shore, their tan, their gym. Like Jersey Shore had that like thing where they went and they did laundry and they went to the gym and they tanned. I can't remember what they called it.
Was it just gym tan laundry?
Yeah, something like, but they had shirts made and everything. But I'm like, that's all I think of. And that's terrible of me for those of you that live in Jersey, but I think you're all snooky. And
it's not terrible because it's
and Pauly D. Ew. Is that his name?
Pauly D.
Yeah, and the situation.
That's his name. I kept thinking his name was the Six Pack. I'm like, yeah, the Six Pack. That was his, but that's not his name.
That is all I know of Jersey is Jersey Shores. Thank you, MTV.
For sure. Yeah, I don't know anything about Jersey Shore either. I just want to say, I love how like it's like the most exclusive sneaker event of the year, and half that shit, I was like, it looks like shit. And what makes this even dumber is that the sneakers should not be the most important thing in your wardrobe. I mean, they get worn out and dirtier faster than any other article of clothing that you wear. And also, who the hell is going to be looking at your feet walking around wearing designer labels like shirts and pants? I understand it's still superficial and vapid, but I just don't understand people. But sneakers, that's even worse, especially in New York City where this film is set. You're one puddle away from looking like a fucking bum. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something, and clearly our mother does not tell you this, but she told me this. When you, and I'll have this discussion with her at a later time. Like, we seriously should have mom on as a guest just to talk about all these things on that she told me, but she didn't tell you.
I'm excited.
Right? We'll give her a couple little daiquiris. She'll be fine. So she used to say that the way to a man's heart was his stomach. But if you want to know if he was a good man, look and see if he takes care of his shoes.
I mean, I guess so. And his teeth.
Right. Okay, she can't take that as a word.
But I guess so. I don't know.
But it was one of those that if they were clean, yeah, I get that they get dirty, but I just can't get past the fact that they were going to split these shoes. Like, she has big feet and apparently he has small feet because a guy and a girl can share a pair of shoes, but they were going to split these shoes.
Yeah, like, I don't.
Shoes are that expensive. I mean, shoes are crazy expensive. My kid has a pair of shoes that cost him like $260. And I just went, are you fucking insane? No way. Unless they say Jimmy Choo on them. And I can't wear Jimmy Choos. My feet are too small.
Even then, I don't like, I'm not dissing on people that spend that much on shoes because that's like your jam. I just want to understand it.
I need someone to explain it to me because that's not in my realm. And maybe it's no one's going to be able to so little. That. So I've never been able to buy anything but kids' shoes.
Yeah, no one's going to be able to explain that. There's no explanation for it.
Okay.
So I love that when he finally, like, the one lesbian friend is all like, oh, you got to design, you got to do this for your mom. And then when he was remembering his mom before he starts making the shoes, he has like one single glistening tear. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a sneaker boy. I'm gonna be the shoe kid. I'm gonna finally make my way out of the ghetto.
Okay, I'm gonna back you up just a little bit and go. I had a little bit of a like PTSD to the Royal Treatment movie that we did. For those of you that haven't seen it, go back to a different episode called The Royal Treatment. We'll leave a link. Right. So did you not notice when they were looking at the tabloid? I totally got PTSD from the Royal Treatment because when she saw the prince in the tabloid, it was the same thing as him seeing Kira in the tabloid. And that's when he realized who she was, which I'm like, dude, if she was that famous, if her family is that famous and that big that they own their own fucking skyscraper, you would know who she is.
Yeah, he should know who they are, especially if that's like his world, the sneaker world, the sneaker world. I'm sorry, I'm making fun of
really
your
disturbed by
hobby.
the fact they're called. Is that what they're called in real life? Sneaker junkies?
I don't know. You're asking me like I know.
Rehab facilities for them, because I feel like anything that's followed by junkie, there should be a rehab facility for you.
So can I say one thing about those shoes he designed before? Well, I love how when he's designing those shoes, I love how he starts just like I and note to Disney execs who are listening to this, people who have desk jobs don't just randomly bust out into breakdancing while they are working. It's not a thing. We don't just start popping and locking and shit. That's not how it works. And then
just
also,
before you logged on, that's why I was late. I was like doing my little
yeah, I mean, I guess so.
jazz
and also if you look at this scene, because I was sober when I watched it, why are they using green screen for when he is sitting there in the back room designing these sneakers? And you can clearly tell because there is a green line around him when they go through, and they thought we wouldn't notice because there's a bunch of colorful special effects surrounding him. And we know, trust me, we noticed that it's poorly screened green screen. I was all like,
and they have Disney money, so that shit shouldn't have been visible. Disney money can make everything disappear.
Okay, so can I just say one thing about the shoes he designed? Well, I have more than one thing. I just didn't write it all down in the same spot. But his custom shoes, they look like something designed if like Teddy Fresh made shoes. Like I was all like, this is
you're way nicer than me. I went, that's what would happen if you let a preschooler design.
Well, I hold on. I wrote down something else because I was all like, yeah, this. Go ahead.
I didn't like the light up thing at the bottom, so there are actual shoes, for those of you who don't know, they're called Rothy's, that are made from recycled plastic bottles. I did not like that part of the shoe. He should have just put a regular sole on them. And I'm all for making a shoe that embraces your environment, but I just went, there was too much in this shoe, too much.
Right on. Well, I love, so I wrote down when they were talking about his like pleasure in my kicks and everything, and I was like, yeah, these are ugly ass kicks. I mean, who's gonna wear this shit? It's trash. The bottoms are translucent and they're going to be green by the end of the week, like with the sludge and the grime and all the muck from New York City's pavement. They reminded me of
like the 70s shoes that had the goldfish swimming in them on The Simpsons from Disco Stew.
Ridiculous. I mean, how many movies have you seen like this where there is like this black lead that's a Mary Sue, or in this case, a Pookie Sue, and they have this like single white friend who is astonished by everything that they do? They're like, oh my God, you're so black. I wish I could do cool things.
Isn't she Asian American?
Ethnicity. Is she Asian?
I think she is.
Oh, well, the same thing applies. She was like, everything he did, she was like, oh my God, you're so amazing. And I'm like,
but I mean, isn't that a friend though? Doesn't a friend encourage you? Like, I'm a true crime junkie, so my encouragement to my friends is like, if you ever murder anyone, I'm on your doorstep with the garbage bag and the shovel. I got you. So so I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do? I mean,
yes, but at some point in time, you got to be honest about it and just be all like, listen, these kicks you did, they're all right. They're just not the best. It looked like Rainbow Bright with like a translucent bottom.
I thought more of Punky Brewster.
I'll go with that. Aren't they the same person?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So, the part where, Papa G, whatever his name is, the
I
fairy
like
godmother.
that better. That should have been his name, Papa
Yeah.
G, and he should have owned the pizza restaurant in Little Italy.
Yeah, bro, that would have been so good.
Made
Vetta,
my day.
they really should consult us with this shit.
They really should have. If he would have owned a pizza restaurant called Little Italy,
they should have.
That would have made this movie go from a 4 to a 9 instantly.
Okay, so about Papa G, because I'm gonna call him that from now on. Okay, so when they're dancing with Papa G, and he's doing his little, singing in the rain moments, and they're trying to pop and lock it and everything, there's all those pigeons flying around, and I immediately thought, I was immediately like, oh, there's somebody needs to clean up all this pigeon shit, get a mop or something. But yeah, no.
I went, that was a musical number that wasn't necessary.
Oh, it all was a musical number that wasn't necessary.
There were a couple that were cute.
No, stop. You're being like nice for no reason. Okay, and okay, so I love how there's the car.
Yes, can we talk about the fucking cover of the car? That's bullshit.
That's what I wrote down. I was like, you got a car cover that's shaped and painted like a car cover to cover up a car. That's a pretty good optical illusion, but and she why?
Sat on it. That
more importantly, why?
I don't know, because he's trying to be the fairy godmother that pulls a pumpkin out of a pumpkin. I don't know.
Yeah, it was so weird. Like, I was just like, ugh.
Can't be real, because when she would have sat on it, her ass would have bunched it up
for sure. And I love when they're driving away, Papa G smacks the ass of the car. Like, I was like, oh yes, that ass. There was just like so much dumb shit in this movie.
It was like the little bit of magic that Papa G does. I was like, I liked in the beginning that it was kind of real, like Disney was trying to touch a little bit of realism in it by having it set in New York, Queens. And
I love that. I love
Papa G and his little bit of magic from the neighborhood and all that.
You're like, so nice to this movie for some fucking reason. I don't get it.
It makes it hard.
That's what
I really think this is a good movie for like 5th, 6th graders. I really do. I think they love it.
Man, like, you're so nice.
I'm not joking. I was watching it with my 14-year-old, and she about gosh, I want to say shortly after the yeah, I wrote anyway, I said because I can't remember the part. I'm trying to think.
No, it's fine.
I think there was like a good 40 minutes left in the movie, and she goes, I'm going to bed. I was like, you're not going to finish this with me? And she said, I'm okay. So I kind of go, it has to be younger than that 8th, 9th grade year. So I'm like 5th, 6th grade, maybe, because it didn't keep the attention of my 14-year-old.
Yeah, I wish it wouldn't have kept the attention of me, but I had to cover it for this podcast.
I was going to say you were a little bit differently motivated.
I was like, this
entertainment wasn't what you were looking for.
Oh, but it's what we got. It's what we got. Pure.
After the brothers, who are super tools, the stepbrothers, like super tools. They're never getting married. And I don't care if it's a he, she, them, they, veer, ver, whatever.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Not having a partner.
I don't understand their motivation. Like, they're like, he's going to keep us out of getting out of Jersey. Why would he keep you out of getting out of Jersey? Like, go live in Jersey.
Wouldn't they look at him getting a deal as, wait, shit, he's going to have money.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they do their little flipperoo towards the end or whatever.
So weird. So after they do that, and the whole King family is anti-L because he lied. Didn't you think that's when the movie started being about 20 minutes too long? Like when she's
absolutely
doing her whole little serenade from her balcony. And buildings that tall don't have balconies because they're afraid of jumpers.
Right on. That's funny. Yeah, no. Yeah, the ending was stupid. I was very much like, oh, can we hurry it up here? I had to fast forward a couple parts. I'm not gonna lie. Like when he calls her on the phone, he's all like, I'm sorry, I was scared and everything. I was like, oh, I don't care. You're
better than me. I heard songs and I went, I'm going to fast forward this because I don't care for musical numbers. Yeah. I love a good musical, but I want to see it in a theater. I want a real musical on stage, not in a movie.
I want a real musical, not this nonsense. I love how, so during the ball, the fashion, the sneaker event,
their special dance in the rainwater.
I wrote it. Okay, so first off, JP Smooth. Why is he dressed like Blackula? Like, why is he dressed like Blackula? Like, I was the whole time I'm just like, what's going on with his outfit? He's even got the little medallion thingy. I was like, weird. So
it just was like they did their little hypnotic daydream dance in water.
Right, yeah. In what? Yeah. Which it was, they weren't even really dancing, they just bumped into each other.
Right, like why? Like that was his like imagination when they bumped into each other. Like they bumped into each other, which took all of 1 second, and he had a 4-minute hallucination.
Yeah, right.
And dancing in a giant puddle of water. Like I don't understand how that connected to the story.
I don't understand how anything connected to the story. But and then I love how during the ball the people are all like looking at his shoes and they're supposed to be like impressed, but every time they showed somebody that looked at his shoes, I was like, I just looked at, I thought they were looking at it like they were completely unimpressed. Like what's the time? I'm sorry, but those shoes were disdainable.
I
like
felt all of them
awful.
were like, is the silent auction gonna start? I'd really like to vote or to bid on that boat cruise, and this shit's taken too long.
right and then I like how when they're leaving and he's got a curfew, and he's like, and she doesn't, I'm gonna just exchange numbers, and he can give you like his Discord information or Skype or like Zoom. There's anything. That's why
many ways to communicate these days.
Exactly. That's why the Cinderella format doesn't work in 2022. And there's so many avenues of communication.
That makes no sense. Okay, yes, we've all seen the videos of people's shoelaces getting stuck in the escalator or their sweater sleeve, but nothing gets stuck in it. He literally trips and his shoe magically falls off. It's not a fucking high heel. It's a sneaker. It's tied. I don't get it.
Yeah. And it's so easy to look someone up on the internet. I mean, like, there's no intrigue and there's no mystique unless the character was like homeless and went from like a pauper to like a someone
on the internet. You just some kind of Google them. They're a serial killer. Run.
Mm-hmm.
For real. Okay. If they're off the grid, they're the Unabomber. Run.
Right. So yeah. And
she's easy to find because she's fucking a mogul's kid. I don't know. I thought the whole ball thing was weird. And I think that after the ball, when the stupid douchey tool ass stepbrothers take his extra shoe and go and tell the king he's a fraud, blah, 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 she would have listened to him. Like, she wouldn't have just assumed these two people she didn't know. Because I go, in the real world, real people would have been like, wait, if this is what you said, stay here. Let's get his side. You know what I mean?
Right on.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I love how after Elle like goes to, what was it called? Sneaker Con.
Sneaker
and then he's all he talks to what was the dude's name? The dad, Daddy King.
Darius.
Yeah. And he's like, he admits like his like faults and everything.
The little rap battle confession thingy.
Yeah. And then
that final scene was a bit odd.
And I was very cringe because then the stepdad gets up there and he's all like, "Oh, you know, you remind me of your mother."
And I'm like, bitch, he was sketching in his book. You called him and told him to get his head out of the clouds.
Yeah,
you knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he's like, "Forgive me," and everything. And I'm like, "Oh, fuck off," and everything.
And can we talk about the fact that he named his biological children Stacy and Zelly?
Oh, yeah. yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, and then I love how like after like what was it, a year later or 2 years later?
1 year later.
Yeah, and I love how they changed what was the name of the store? Elevated.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, get the hell out of here. I'm all like,
and I go, how the fuck old are these kids? Like,
right.
I
Right.
don't get, like, there's
And-
no school involved. Okay. And if they're on summer vacation, I just go, how the fuck old are these kids? It's never established.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but Queens is not that great. Okay.
I've never been, because
Yeah.
I'm one of the rare people in the world that has no interest in stepping foot in New York City or
Yeah,
New
well,
York, the state at all.
yeah, well, I went to Manhattan once and I was like, I have no interest in visiting any of the boroughs. Gross. I am not interested
Yeah,
at
because you
all.
guys stayed in Manhattan. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I don't even have an interest in being a tourist in Manhattan. I just kind of go, there's way more places. I'm an odd American, apparently, but
Yeah, I honestly believe that this movie was a strategic attack against Black people.
attack against them.
Yeah,
Oh,
whoever
that's sad.
made this movie, this was directed by a white woman. She does not, she's like George
Oh,
W. Bush.
see,
She
I
doesn't
thought
care
it
about
was
Black
like an
people.
all ethnic crew that was all like, we're gonna uplift them and make them look great, and they
No,
didn't do a good job. I
no.
mean, it's a cute movie. Like I said, fourth graders probably
It was not
love
a cute.
this shit.
Stop defending this movie,
It's
you
cute.
asshole. It was, oh my God, I hate you right now. It was not
You
cute.
love me. I'm your
It
sister.
was so dumb. This was a waste of time, money, in every sense of the word. It was so bad.
Oh,
It's
I would
so
say
bad.
their budget was way too big for this movie. They spent way
Mm.
too much money.
They did. They spent $1 on this movie.
And
That
I
was way
really
too
go, if
much.
Disney is going to throw Disney money at something like this, it should start from the get-go. The money should be not just be thrown at production, it should be thrown at the writing. Like, let's start from the get-go, Disney. If you're going to throw your money at this, and let's be honest, if you're going to produce anything, you want Disney fucking money behind you. Start throwing it at the get-go.
I would have rather have seen anything. I think anything. I don't know, man. This was bad.
That's not true. You would not have wanted to see, you did not want Disney backing Camilla's Cinderella.
Oh no. That was bad.
This was better.
That was fucking horrible.
Oh my God, I have PTSD. Like, when you said Sneakerella, that's all that came to my mind. I was like, he's trying to murder me. He literally is like trying to like make my life a living hell by throwing another Cinderella-esque movie at me.
Of course, because I hate you. I hate
Right?
that you,
That's
hate
where
that
I
you
was
liked
going.
this movie.
I didn't like it. I said it was
Oh,
cute.
stop. You defended it. There's no turning back now, honey boo.
I totally defend it because it's cute for
Oh,
younger kids.
Ugh. Okay.
This
Anyways,
is going to be a Disney on Ice movie.
Oh my gosh. That would, I think
Parents
putting it
are
on
gonna-
ice would have made
Parents
it
are going to
better.
take their kids to see this as part of the Frozen, High School Musical, Sneakerella, Disney on Ice, and they're going to buy their kids all the light up swords and the light up spinny things, and it'll be great for small children.
So then, would you recommend this movie, Vetta?
For a parent of children from 5th grade and younger, yes. Anyone else, no.
Oh, you're so horrible. Okay.
Your daughter would love this movie.
No, she would not.
Yes, she
because
would.
she has taste. Okay.
She's like 6. How good is her taste? How good is her taste?
Her
Let's
taste
be
is
honest.
impeccable because I teach her right.
Oh, look at you being a good parent.
And she is a Disney
not letting her
princess
be herself
all the way. Oh, I let her be herself. She's the girliest of girls. I played no part in that. She is straight up pink and purple are her
He's
favorite
like,
colors.
I tried to make her a Transformer, G.I. Joe, Avenger loving kid, and she wants fucking Barbies and
I
curlers
pushed
in
Star
her
Wars
hair.
so hard on those kids, and they are not interested at all. Or Harry Potter, they are not interested. It bums me out.
You gotta remember to buy your kids light brights for Christmas this year.
Hey, they would
make
love that.
your life hell.
They would like it. I love light brights. Anyways,
you do until you step on it in the middle of the night.
Well, I did trip on a Lego today, so that was pretty hardcore. So, all right, now let's get to our questions.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
So my question is what is your favorite movie shoe moment? So a moment in a movie that revolves around a shoe. In case you didn't get that from my question.
I know. I got it. I've
had drinks.
Right on. Okay.
The
So
shoemaker fucks you up fast. I've only have 2 and I feel like I'm like,
I should have made it. Right on.
Face
We'll
is
have to.
numb.
You guys will tweet out the recipe.
Anyways, right? For
sure.
Tomorrow after I'm done with my hangover.
You're so funny. Okay, so I wrote down. Okay, so I don't write down what the name. I don't know if the little Asian kid in the Goonies when he did the oil stuff coming out of his shoes on the log. I wrote that down because I love
the
that.
oil shoes.
Yeah, when he's all like, hey guys, and then he pulls the little lever, and then the backs open up, and then it shoots out the oil, and then they slip on it, and then the guy hits his nuts, and then he falls over. So good. I love that.
There's so many slap shot funny moments in that movie. Is his name this is gonna drive me nuts.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
I feel like it's not Danny, but it's something like that.
It's Data.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
and he's got the little boxing glove on a spring in his jacket. I love that part too. Data's my favorite from the Goonies.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
I keep trying to convince my husband, because we have friends that have a Halloween party, that we need to go as Bren and Andy.
For sure.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to tell him you approved, so now he'll do it. So,
all right, what is your favorite movie shoe moment?
My favorite shoe moment comes from Father of the Bride.
Ooh.
When Steve Martin's character picks up his daughter's shoes, and they're tennis shoes that are done in like rhinestone lace, and they're all bridal-esque, and I love that because of that movie. So that movie's like from 90 or 91, excuse me, I can't remember, and I was married many years later. I totally laced and rhinestoned platform tennis shoes that were the same height as the heels I wore for pictures that I switched into later. And I was all like, ooh. Yeah. So
you're so funny.
But you need to be comfortable. Wedding days are fucking long. You know,
yeah, they
like
are.
You're not a girl. Your wife knows.
Yeah, it was still long for me too.
Yeah, but you were
and
wearing
I'm practically
flats.
a girl.
You're fine.
What'd you say?
You were wearing flat dress shoes.
Right on.
Men's shoes don't count.
Gotcha.
All right. What's
so my question is, what is your favorite pair of shoes in a movie?
Okay, so I know this is going to be lame, but it's the same, Father of the Bride, because I love when she puts on the shoes, and when her dad comes in and is like, are you ready? And she pulls up her dress just enough, and she points her toe with the shoe, and she's so proud of the shoes that her dad, who owns a shoe company, had his employees make for her, and she's so excited about it. I love that, because I am not joking. I am a strong believer in you should find shoes that make you comfortable on your day. Fuck everybody else. Wear nice shoes for the ceremony and pictures. And then for the party, put something on that makes you happy and dance worthy. What about you?
I just went with the ruby red slippers from the Wizard of Oz, because they're just so iconic. I was going to say the red shoes from the Red Shoes, but I was like, oh, nobody's going to know what those are. But I like the ruby red slippers because she like taps them, and I'm all like, I just want to be all like, that good witch knew this whole fucking time and she can just tell her. Like,
I almost picked that because, as funny as it is, I have been in the Wizard of Oz in my younger years. I remember anymore. I was in the Wizard of Oz 3 times, and every time I was Dorothy. And trust me, when you're Dorothy that much, I kid you not, the last time I auditioned for the Wizard of Oz, I auditioned for the Wicked Witch and still got Dorothy. I just wanted to be somebody else. I would have been a munchkin. I didn't want to do There's No Place Like Home, but I loved the ruby red shoes. Right. I almost picked that, but it doesn't give me the same feeling, because on my bridal day, I decorated my own shoes to be my own tennis shoes because of that movie. Like, I loved it. Steve Martin. It's a great movie, but I get why you picked. Those are iconic. Oh, I almost said archonic. Hence drunk podcast.
You know it.
I love the ruby red slippers as well.
For sure. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated. If you listen to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. We would really appreciate it, and it really helps us out. We'll also be posting the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so you can be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube at BS Drunk Movie Reviews. And please don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, you guys.